Today we're going to take you through all of the gear we use to make our videos.
This includes all of our camera gear, all electronics, lenses, everything that we use to make our cinematics and our vlogs.
So let's jump right into it. So this one here is actually a recent purchase. So this is a DJI FPV. It's different to the one that Jordan has, but I'll get into that later. So this one here is it turns on a different axis. So with this drone here, it means with the goggles, I can see exactly what the camera is seeing. So I can put the camera in any sort of position and try and make it as smooth as possible through the gimbal at the front. I'd recommend buying the Fly More package or the combo. So that's going to give you 2 extra batteries. It's also going to give you a 3 connected charging port. So it's just a lot easier and more efficient to charge them. You can charge them all with the same cable, and that way it's just more convenient for the user, especially if you're going to be traveling like we will soon. Because this is a FPV, a first person view drone, it flies on multiple axes. So if I wanted to, I could flip it, rotate it. You can fly it any way you want to. It's a bit harder to control, but luckily DJI has a little simulator that you can practice. In other words, I can see what other drones won't be able to pick up on in real time as I'm flying the drone while we're at the destination. And instead of when you get home and you're like, oh, that clip sucks, like I wish I did it another way, I can actually see it in the moment.
So basically, I use the DJI Mavic Air 2. I've had it a little while now, but it doesn't do me wrong at all. I trust it very much so. It's not as strong as your FPV drones as well, but it still goes really well. I also recommend buying the Fly More combo for this one as well, or even upgrade to a Mavic 3, which I'm looking at doing soon as well. So if we just unfold the propellers here, they unfold nice and easily. Your battery comes out the top, replaceable. Always important to have spare batteries wherever you go, so you never run out of charge as well. You got your gimbal protector here. It does film in 4K, 30 and 60 FPS too. And this drone is basically used more for like showing a location on a bigger scale compared to the FPV, which is more what is in front of you. So I use this one for your big pullback shots or even follows. I do quite a bit with it, as well as doing wide pans of a location on a subject too. The best part about this drone too is it's nice and small. It's a lot smaller, nice and light, very easy to carry anywhere we go on our hikes or trips. This is never an issue when we take it with us anywhere. So I really recommend it for that reason too.
So next thing I have in my bag is my gimbal. So I don't actually have a case or a bag properly for all this stuff yet. It is just in its like little foam little holders, but soon I should be making one, because you can't find one on the market at the moment that has a spot for all of these things, like an FPV drone as well, of this size at least. So stay tuned for that as well. So let me assemble it for you real quick. Sweet, so here it is. Normally, obviously I'd have my camera on here, but I'm filming with that at the moment. What I use the gimbal for, or what I like especially about the Ronin RSC2, the one that I have in my hands at the moment, is they're really light, nice and easy to pack up into like a small box as I showed you before. Besides that, it does all the stuff you need it to. So some more benefits of this gimbal are its ergonomic handle. It makes it really easy depending on where I want to hold it or how far I need to hold it as well to get like a certain shot. It's really smooth as well. That's the point of a gimbal, obviously. So far, in terms of cinematics, this has helped out so much. It really smoothens the clips out so you don't get that really jumpy looking footage like we used to. So it's been one of my best purchases, I reckon. For like 800 bucks, can't go wrong. So far, when it comes to hiking with something like this, because of its ergonomic handle and the way you can grip it, it's really easy to go through like uneven terrain whilst even having the camera on here. It makes it really easy to take shots, which is a bonus, I guess. On to the next.
Alright guys, so basically Kalani and I both use the Sony A7 Mark III. Obviously Kalani's using it right now to film this. They are a very good camera by Sony. Do recommend it highly.
Just the quality of the picture, it's really crisp. Really easy also to edit the photos, so they come out really clean. So when it comes to the editing process, especially for our videos, it's really easy to manipulate the video quality and the colors used to get our final effect.
It also makes it nice and easy as well to use whatever lens you really want. You can get really good quality even out of cheaper lenses too.
So the lenses that we have currently are, I'll start with mine that I'm using on the camera that we're filming on. I've got a 24-70 G Master lens from Sony. So that one there, it's been really easy for me to use, really versatile when it comes to when we want to shoot terrain, I can zoom in. It's been really easy to use as a starting lens for what we have been using for all of our first videos. But we have started to progress with new lenses.
Only little downfall of the 24-70 lens is its weight. It can get a bit heavy on our hikes, especially taking 3 lenses with us. It does add to that weight, but it's definitely worth it in terms of quality. Also on the theme of Sony lenses, I use a Sony 85mm prime lens. It does get down to 1.8 aperture as well, so f1.8. It really blows out the background even more than that 24-70. However, I can't adjust the distance, so I can't zoom in on anything or zoom out to get different perspectives as well. But I do like it as well, nice and light, nice and small.
So for the third of our 3 lenses, I've got my Sigma 100-400 f5 to 6.3. So this one here, it's really good when you're doing really far shots. So in this photo here, it really brings the background in. So that far ridge, when I look through it in a 24-70, it's gonna look super far. You won't be able to see much of it. Whereas it really brings that back line, like that ridge forward. And even though it still keeps the same quality of the foreground, it also makes it look closer from the background. So this
It zooms in really far.
Yeah,
So you can pick up things that you wouldn't be able to see with the naked eye in a lot of times.
So this lens we've used not too much, because it is really specific to when you are on top of a mountain or something and you want to get like a really far like landscape shot, but besides that, it's worked out pretty well so far. In terms of the quality, it is really smooth, so the picture isn't as crisp as my G Master lens, obviously. There is a price difference, but it is still really good when it comes to the pixels and the quality of the image. It just rounds off like the edges a bit smoother.
In terms of filming as well, we generally stick to the 24-70 and the 85mm for when we're hiking. The 100-400 is more so just for taking those really good photos of your landscapes, your ridges, or your mountains, everything kind of to do with photography is more so 100-400, and then these other 2 lenses are great for videoing as well.
It's really handy having such a diverse range of lenses. So if you do want to get a particular shot, you can always switch in and out to get a different perspective on what you're trying to film.
And also mixing in the videography from the cameras with the drone footage and the FPV footage, it really helps enhance our videos as well to get them as good as possible, showing you guys what it is or where the location is that we're filming and getting into all those different angles of it as well. Now let's get stuck into the GoPro.
So here we have the GoPro Hero 9 Black series. So currently on this GoPro I've got the handle mount. We do have a lot more different mounts, just didn't bring them just because of the impracticality of how many there are. This GoPro here has been really handy for getting in amongst all of like the environment. You don't have to be like worried about damaging or any like weather getting into it. Something that really stands out when it comes to the GoPro footage is the hyper smooth on it. So if we're trying to film, especially if we're vlogging, and we want something that's really smooth and good quality, we go for something like the GoPro, just because you can film in that 4K or even 5K on this, and it's gonna, it's gonna be really smooth and good quality. The different filming options on here, you do have your hyperlapse, your time lapse and your slow-mo, along with your just regular shots, which you can choose the perspective as well, from linear, wide angled, or even just a normal angle. But if you're wanting to go underwater or film anywhere, you can always rely on one of these. I hope you guys took something out of this video, and if you did, make sure you like this video or even subscribe to us just so you can see all of our upcoming videos. Catch you in the next one.